Now this, my friends, is action. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ledger. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Hope you like my new intro. It should be my new intro. I may try and change it up a bit as I go along, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. This was a request from a subscriber to get this out today so I could show you guys my new logo and new intro. So hope you guys enjoyed that. But now we are going to be reviewing John Wick Chapter 2. So let's talk about the good. I think that this movie has a great pace to it. It feels like it's definitely the one with probably it's between this one and Chapter 3 for the least amount of story. It depends because on the one hand, Chapter 3 actually gets too convoluted at times, but you think Chapter 3 is mostly just a bunch of kill scenes. There's not much story other than John wanting to go to a desert and trying to get a he's trying to get a certain thing that, you know what, I can't even describe Chapter 3 story. Luckily, I won't be getting to Chapter 3 till probably next year because we're about to start the Christmas season. And anyway, Chapter 2, it is a fantastic movie. I love it. I think that the action here is possibly better than the first. If you're evaluating this by cinematography and action, this is, well, actually one of the worst in the John Wick franchise if you're going by cinematography, because Chapter 4 and Chapter 3 look absolutely gorgeous. So, it's definitely a fantastic movie. Keanu Reeves is great. He always plays a good performance in this, and I like how they do certain callbacks, like how they reference again the pencil thing, how he once killed a guy with a pencil. Actually, kind of sounding just like that guy. And there's a certain scene in the movie where we get possibly the greatest kill of any of the John Wick movies. And when we do our ranking of the big action franchise, that might have my favorite kill of all time. In terms of that, which is when you have that many action franchises, that's a hard bar. But this, where we actually see John Wick do the legendary pencil kill on 3. No, that's the first one that he does 3. Although it's more implied, you don't get to see it. So he kills 2 men with a pencil, and it's awesome. It's bloody, it's graphic, it's brutal. You see the gore, it goes nuts with what it does, but it's fun. You want to see it. If you like Carnage Candy for action movies, you'll love it. This is a movie that, it's not too heavy on story, but it doesn't need to be. It's a movie that you can just relax, watch some action, and it's I would say that Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 are best described as all killer, no filler. They're not supposed to be relying as much on story. None of the John Wick movies are. 4 has by far probably the best story. It has a great story that really calls back to the other ones, but I think that this one is great. I think the gun fu, which is what people like to call it, is great in this. You get to see John absolutely destroying people, and John's death count is higher. It gets progressively higher every movie. He kills more than the amount that he kills in the previous movie is taken higher. He kills around 80 people, I think, in the first one. It gets higher in the second, it then gets higher in the third, and then it gets higher in the fourth. This guy is a killing machine, and I loved just the way that they have everything. So, and I think Winston is always fun in this. I think he's great, and as far as negatives, the only negatives I have for this film is that I think around the second act, it's around the second act and part of the third one, it starts to slow down a bit. I noticed this a lot more on my rewatch. I was oh yeah, it's starting to slow down a bit, but it doesn't hurt my score with the movie at all. I loved this movie, and as well as the fact that I do think that it is probably so like I said about that, it's. And I just forgot it. One of my flaws, which I probably should not be doing because it is a flaw. Because I know I have one other one. It's, hold on one second. Sorry about that. I am now back. I had to think of what I was trying to give a flaw to. I also think that the mute assassin she plays in the Meg, as that woman, which is probably very vague considering there's plenty of women in that movie, but If you know the mute assassin, her, I feel like she's very underutilized. And I also, the other few flaws I have, I think that John, I think it's a bit coincidental, like especially in that cave scene. If you take a look, whenever he runs out of guns, the next few people coming to him only have like knives or something, and he seems to always he takes a lot of damage. It's nowhere near as bad as he gets in 3 and 4. He is taking a lot more damage in 3 and 4 than he is in 2. It's nowhere near as bad, but you're starting to like sense it. I knew coming into this one, which don't actually I wasn't that dumb. I'm still dumb, but still not that dumb. But I'm just saying, in 2, it's starting. You're starting to like get the outline of it. You're starting to see, okay, he's pretty good. Like, and the fact is, he falls down a flight of stairs, like a big flight of stairs in one scene, and at that point he'd already been like shot a few times, or at least he got shot in the suit where the suit's bulletproof, but it's very painful, and he got shot several times, so it's he must have been exhausted at that point, and getting fallen down the stairs, he would not have been able to walk away with that I'm trying to use a word here, that in just that way. He takes a bit of damage that, okay, this guy is not human. I mean, it's nowhere near as bad as it gets in chapter 3 and chapter 4. It's like I'm gonna say I would compare John Wick chapter 3 Parabellum and John Wick chapter 4 to Home Alone 1 and 2. The amount of damage John Wick takes in chapter 3 and chapter 4 is very reminiscent of how much damage Harry and Marv take in the original 2, because boy, they survive stuff they should not be surviving. But all in all, guys, I loved this film. It's a 5 out of 5 for me. 5-star review. I love this film, kid. I get it. It's probably only a 3.5 for you, but seriously, dude. But I absolutely love this film. I think the action is on point. The action in here is great. So the cinematography, everything. So I absolutely love this film. I would recommend you check this out. Don't rent it. Buy it. Buy the entire franchise. This is my second least favorite, and it's still a 5-star review. And I will try and get John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum and John Wick Chapter 4 possibly reviewed within the next few days to try and get those out of the way. But that is my review for John Wick Chapter 2, and I hope you all liked my intro and my new logo. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a good one.